everybody. My name is Liz Zaki from OneSite Finance. Today I have the pleasure of having Michael Salvartsis from Real Property Buyers. He's a wonderful, experienced buyer's agent, have 30 years experience in the property market. He also has helped me finding my beautiful office, so I have my personal experience using his service. How are you, Michael?
Thanks, Liz. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity.
No worries. So today's video, what we want to know is how would a buyer's agent help you finding your property sooner, saving you time, money, and also get you to achieve your dream faster. So I have a couple of questions for you, Michael.
Sure.
Now, when clients come to you to buy a property, what are the 4 things that you want them to be prepared?
Yeah, sure. Look, we need buyers to be pre-approved for finance.
Yeah.
I think that's a very important thing.
Yeah.
Then we need to understand what their budget is, what their property type is,
Yeah.
and also what sort of location they're looking at buying in.
I see. Yeah.
Once we've got that 4 key criteria, we can then work with them to help them achieve an outcome, a lot more faster than what they could do if they potentially did it themselves.
Yeah, yeah. So when I help our clients doing the pre-approval, obviously my job is to help you doing, fixing your budget so that when you talk to Michael, I've got up to $2 million to buy the property. But location, Michael, I have a few clients that they're not sure. They throw me a few locations. How would you help them narrow down the location?
Out of the 4 criteria I mentioned, I think property type and budget is critical. Like some clients are looking for properties in suburbs that they can't afford. So if, for instance, they can't afford in a particular suburb, we would ask them to go on a little journey with us to investigate other suburbs. Okay. So as long as we could find the right property type and they were comfortable with the location, I think you'll find that would be a satisfactory outcome. Yeah. And about 30% of our clients actually buy in locations that they never really thought about.
Yeah, here you go. Yeah, and talking about budget and saving time, recently we had our personal experience helping a client who has a budget around 1.3, really like this property, talked to you and you straight away said, this could sell above the budget. How do you even know that?
Yeah, so look, we're valuers by profession and background. We looked at this property with the client. The selling agent was guiding 1.3. We did our own research and analysis, and basically we anticipated this property was going to sell for over 1.6.
Wow, but big difference.
Big difference. Yeah. Went to auction, sold for $1.7 million. So I think by engaging us, we can save clients money so they don't get pest and building reports, contract reviews and strata reports unnecessarily. Yeah. And I think because we've got valuation backgrounds and we're very active in these suburbs and in the market, we can tell within very close sort of reasonableness whether they actually do or don't have a chance to buy in this location based on that budget. Yeah,
and also not emotionally attached to the property. Yeah. And
I say to clients, emotion equals more money, so leave it to us. Leave it to us, and we're not emotional, I can assure you.
That's true. Because it's very hard to know the value of the property because the ad doesn't really say, it's like offer above.
Yeah, there's a lot of misquoting in the market or underquoting. And our job is, I say to our clients, okay, that's what the selling agents have said. Let us do our own homework, and we'll tell you where we think it's going to end up. Yes. And I can assure you we're a lot closer than where the selling agent's guide is.
Sure. There's quite a bit of buyer's agents out there in the market.
Yes.
What to look for in a buyer's agent, Michael?
Make sure that they're registered, make sure that they've got the proper qualifications, professional indemnity insurance, make sure they're independent. A lot of buyer's agents are not independent. So
what do you mean by that?
I mean, we get paid by buyers, specifically when we buy property from them. Yes. We do not accept or receive referral fees. So there's no referral fees that go to brokers, that go to selling agents, that go to developers. It's a truly independent. And also make sure that they're exercising the most important things for me is duty of care and due diligence.
Yeah.
Okay, and what you'll find is we come from a world of valuation and property risk. There's a lot of the buyers agents in the market are actually selling agents, so I think there's a different onus or duty of care there.
Okay.
And the other most important thing is that if you anticipate or suspect there is or is going to be a conflict of interest, then we won't take the brief.
I see. Yeah.
And the other thing, as a last point, make sure the buyers agents are working exclusively for clients. So we don't take, as an example, if we had a $2 million client wanting to buy in the eastern suburbs of Bondi Beach, we would not take 2 different clients on that brief.
Oh.
So we would work exclusively for that one client.
For that brief.
Wow. And when we bought for that client, then we would onboard potentially another client with that same brief.
Okay, that's
so we work exclusively, and that's very important because we're not a sales agency.
Yeah, good points. Now, in terms of your network, when you help us buy the office, you told us that I can have access to properties that you can't even see online, it's not advertised. And how do you do that? It's called off-market, right?
Yeah. Look, there's off-market and pre-market. Basically, we're considered in the marketplace to be repeat buyers.
Yeah.
So not the one-off buyer that someone might potentially be buying their first home. Most of the agents know us. They know what we can and can't do. Yeah. We've got a reputation of being able to action things and do the due diligence piece quickly.
Yeah.
And it's all about understanding what's that property worth. When it's offered to us by selling agents, you still need to do your due diligence. Yeah. And the reason they present it to us is because they know that we've got a client who's paid a retainer, has a very specific brief, is pre-approved for finance,
ready to go.
And ready to go. So as long as the property piece stacks up and the number makes sense, we buy quicker. And this is why selling agents provide us with off-market opportunities.
Yeah.
So I think there's a win and benefit for most.
Yeah, and definitely with my office, I would not have found that.
Yeah. If in your situation, so it was an off-market situation. We identified one of the best buildings for small business in Surrey Hills. Yeah. We saw it. We thought it was reasonably priced. You've been in here for a while now, and you've had some good capital growth. Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah.
So when clients find a property, normally they contact me on the weekend. I said, Liz, we found a property, start negotiating the price. Obviously, you help them with negotiation and everything. But one thing that they're always puzzled is reviewing the strata report and the building report, because some solicitor will not do that.
Yes.
Can you help them with that?
Yeah. What we find is most solicitors and conveyancers won't review strata reports or building reports. You know, I've been in property for 30 years. I've read a lot of strata and building reports over many, many years. So we can identify within those strata building reports items that need further investigation or items that we're comfortable with. And then assuming that there's nothing that's outstanding, as I said, we'll provide recommendations to our clients. If there are outstanding items, I mean, I own strata myself. I own Torrens Title myself. So I've been also on the Owners Court for a couple of units. So I know both the ins and outs of strata. So what I'm saying is that we know how to ask the questions to get the answers. Sometimes when it gets very technical, we'll ask solicitors to have a review of it, and they will do so, but as I said, they'll charge, which is fine. But it's all a matter of us, because we've read so many pest and building reports and strata reports, we can very quickly identify whether it's a good managed building or it's a house that has issues that are maintenance versus capital items.
Yeah, because you really don't want to buy somewhere that have issues and you found out later on, surprised.
It's too late. Look, at our briefs, it's all about no surprises. And if there's surprises, we haven't carried the brief out properly. It's all about educating people, no surprises, good independent advice.
How about council checks, where there's a future development in the area?
Yeah, of course. Look, council websites these days are a lot better than normal. So basically we can identify what development applications have been applied for, you know, in the building, around the building, behind the building, left side, right of it, in terms of development approvals, any consents, any refusals, in terms of zoning, in terms of potential uses. As I said, I think that council investigation piece it's easier to do now than what it was 20 years ago, but it's all part of that educating the client to make informed decisions.
Yeah.
So that's part of what we do.
Yeah, amazing. So I want to talk about your service offering. So obviously, you help clients finding a residential property and commercial property.
Yes.
And you a 10 auction. Can you talk about
Yeah, we have 3 different types of service offerings.
Yeah.
One is the full service offering.
Yeah.
So it's basically where we do all the research, the sourcing, the inspections, the shortlisting, the due diligence, the negotiation, the auction attenders, the whole lot from start to finish.
Yeah.
Some people who've never entered into the market want that, but we also have very time poor people. That's a little bit more costly.
Yeah.
And then we have other people who say to us, I've found a property, love it. And I say, firstly, you're too close to it. And then they say to us, we don't know what it's worth.
Yeah.
We're not confident negotiating. We're not confident turning up to auctions. So basically, in that situation, as I said, it's a much more affordable cost.
Yeah.
But basically, we inspect that property, due diligence, strategy, auction attendance, negotiation, and so basically we provide all that service offering that we did in the full service offering, but we don't actually source for the property itself. And some people say to us, can you just go to auction? And the answer is yes, we can.
Yeah.
Do I think that's the best value for money? Answer is no.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to ask you what's your budget.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say to you, well, maybe you shouldn't be paying more than $1.5 million for it.
Yeah.
I said it's very affordable. A small section of our clients use it, but I think there's better value if you're going down that path of going down that you find the property and we do the due diligence and negotiation.
Yeah. Now, talking about negotiation, what would be your 3-4 tips to our listeners about how to have a successful negotiation?
Yeah, look, make sure that you understand what the property's worth.
Yeah.
Okay, so first, in any negotiation piece, it's understanding what is the property, what's the range of this property, and then it's basically understanding the motives of the vendor for selling.
How do you find that?
Oh, look, selling agents don't like to say too much, right?
Yes.
But basically,
you can suss it out.
I like to ask the same question 5 times and see what comes back.
Yes.
So it's understanding the motives of the vendor,
Yeah.
understanding the motives and sort of the position of the buyer, then putting together a strategy to try and buy that property either off market, before auction, at auction, or post auction.
Yeah. And I
so
guess
there's a whole piece. There's not one answer there. But we always, we've been doing this for 10 years, and I've never had one property that we bought for a client not agree with a bank valuation. So we're mitigating risk at the same time.
Yes. Yeah. And I guess we work together as well. For example, in terms of finance, sometimes vendor want a shorter settlement. Maybe you can win.
We can negotiate shorter time frames. We can negotiate licenses to move in. We can negotiate longer time frames. We can negotiate a lot of different things. It's all on the table in the negotiation piece, but it really will come down to what is our position and what's the vendor's position.
Yeah. Wow. There's a lot of information, Michael, and thank you so much for your time today. I recommend you to all my clients because I think you have helped us and you're fantastic. You listen to clients' brief and you basically take your time to make sure that you meet that brief and making sure they're happy with the choice that they make. So thank you, Michael, and I hope this video is useful for you guys, and see you later. Thank you.
Thanks, Liz. Thank you.